Hi, it's Lynette here and thank you for joining me today. So you might have heard me mention this before, the year of less. It's an old diary that I'm using to track what I'm doing. So what is the year of less? I spoke a wee bit about it, and in a way it's about decluttering, it's about using things up, it's about saving money or trying to save money, about sharing budgeting tips and money saving tips as well where we can. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I've taken some notes. I was inspired to do this after reading a book by a blogger called Cate Flanders. Her blog used to be Blonde on a Budget, and I think she set up initially to save money, to reduce her debt and to save some money. She also then moved on to doing another blog, which I can't get my words. It's been a long day, by the way. If you're new to my channel, I must apologise. I'm not always like this. So yeah, she then gave herself a second challenge, which was almost like a shopping ban, to use up some of the things she had and to also save some money. She also kept account of what she spent, what she saved, and then created her own rules. So this is what the notepad is for, and you can use anything that you want, scraps of paper or whatever. So the rules: you make a list of essentials and what your personal goals are. So for me, it's paying off some outstanding bills that I have in my overdraft, and then potentially being able to save some money. But with gas and electricity, I don't know. But once I get those cleared, it'll be a bit better. It's not a no buy. I could not stick to a no buy, or even a low buy, to be honest with you. I just could not do it. You can set your own rules to ensure that you stick to them for the year. So, as I said, I was inspired by reading Cate Flanders' Year of Less, and she actually talks about at the end of the book, if you want to do this, she said, tell as many people as possible that you're doing this. So if you might have a friend that also wants to go and meet you for lunch, then you could maybe suggest just going for a coffee. Lots of different things that you can change some of the habits. So what she suggests is, before you start, that you do a declutter. Now, last year and the year before, I did my 2022 and 2023 item declutter, which I've not long finished. So I've already done a bit of a declutter, but I will continue and mark it down here as well. So take an inventory once you've done a declutter. So for me, I'm only writing down my makeup, skincare, candles, bath bombs, wax melts, whatever it is. For you, it could be bags, shoes, books, whatever it is that you feel like you want too much of. So you write 3 lists. So I'll explain this all kind of in the blurb below. So you have an essential list, things you can only buy when you run out or that need replacing. Okay, non-essentials might be things like clothes, bags, candles, magazines, makeups. And your approved shopping list, things you're allowed to buy but that aren't essential. She also recommends that you unsubscribe from emails from stores that might tempt you throughout the year. And you can also set up a savings account for your money if you end up saving. So I have a Monzo card, and I can talk about that at a later video if you're interested. If you need to buy something, just don't worry. What I've wrote here is, don't worry about breaking your year of less, because one purchase, you don't want to throw away all your good work and all your hard work. Just stick to it when you can. Or what I'm planning on doing is actually setting aside a budget that lets me purchase things that I might not necessarily need, but while sticking to the year of less. So she had this really handy diagram, which I kind of scribbled down there. She says, do try and ask yourself when you're thinking about purchasing something, do you need it? Yes. And then, really? Yes. Did you need it yesterday? Yes. Can you borrow it? No. Do you want to maintain it? Yes. Then buy it. So if you go, do I really need it? No. Right? Or, and then it's don't buy it. So we go back to, do I really need it? Yes. Did you need it yesterday? No. Wait 30 days or until you need it. So it's just about thinking about, do I actually really need this, and what benefit will it bring to me if I buy it? So that's why I've set aside a little bit of a budget, because I'm still conscious that I have a YouTube channel to run, and there might be things like mystery boxes or a palette that I absolutely just want to review. So I've set aside a small portion for that, because that's the only way I think I could do this without breaking it. So one of the goals for me is to reduce the number of things that are in my home. So I'll be continuing to declutter and include the number of products in my inventory, and if I've added, used or given. So I do that when I'm taking stock of I write down a list of everything I've got at the start of the year, and then I have a added, used or given. So what my goal is to potentially at the end of each month is to have kind of less added into my house than I've used up or given. Okay, this month's going to be quite good because we've done a kitchen declutter, so that's kind of really helped. So what's on my essentials list? I found this really hard. So take away things like food, you know, stuff that you need to survive. I found it actually really hard to see what is essential, what do I actually need, and that goes to show me that I don't need to buy things for the sake of it. So I put jeans because I only have one pair now. The other pair, I took them out the wash and almost fell apart. So I do need to replace the jeans. I've only got one pair. If I need anything like winter coat, boots or shoes. So Lola's just lovingly sat and kind of eating part of my loafers, which is really helpful. Cleaning products when I run out. So I haven't added those to my inventory because I don't have excessive amounts, but I do have more than enough. Supplies for Lola and Poppy, and that includes replacing their toys. So that was my essentials list, which I was really surprised that I could not think of any more. So on my approved shopping list, so this is things that I can buy without worrying about it. So I put here toiletries, makeup, but when they need to be replaced. Clothes and shoes when they need to be replaced. I'm going to try the one in, one out, so I'm not adding. So if I've got a top that needs replacing, I will bin that or give it to charity if it doesn't fit anymore and buy a new one. Candles, wax melts, once those are finished. However, what I will try and do is with my candles is keep the remnants at the bottom and make my own wax melts using those for this year. Plant pots because I need to repot my plants, so that's approved. Any gifts for other people. I can budget for my hair and for my eyebrows to get dyed. Haven't had my hair done since March last year and I'm going to get it done on Saturday, but you can budget for that. Don't feel like, you know, you can't do anything like that, so that's approved. I put here the odd treat to make friends for coffee, lunch and storage items, so anything that I might need to store. So moving on, what will I try to limit? So this is not a ban, as I've said before. Set aside a small budget for things that I think that I really want, but I will try and pause and think about it. So makeup, skincare and toiletries, candles, wax melts, books, not boots, books, right? If you don't have a library card, go to your library, right? Sign up for your library, and even if you're not interested in taking out books, physical hard copies of books, register for Libby, which is their online library app. It is fantastic. So I have a Kobo, so I won't be buying any more books. Maybe the old cookbook, but I need to ensure that I'll make a few recipes. What I tend to do with cookbooks is borrow them from the library first and see if I will make recipes from them. Or go to the bookstore and have a flick through. Magazines. So I don't buy any magazines at the moment. I haven't done for a couple of years because they're all on the Libby app. So you can get all sorts of magazines. And different libraries will have different magazines, but honestly this app is fantastic. Stationery and notepads unless I need them. So I must have about 20 different notepads and about 200 pens and pencils. So I tend to kind of pick them up when I go into Poundland or if I see them in the supermarket. So I have to run those down first. Takeaways, this is a big one. We've got really bad over Christmas and New Year picking up Chinese. Takeaway coffee. When I go into the office, I've got a Chili's mug. I'm doing it because it's about the size of a can of juice. I'll try and use that when I go into the office rather than buying coffee. But you can still buy one if you fancy an odd treat or if you're meeting a friend for lunch or whatever. Plants. I'm going to try and limit buying plants. Yeah, I've got lots of little plants outside that I'm trying to kind of nurture to see if they'll kind of grow into anything for next year. Linen, towels, face cloth. I don't need any more at the moment. My trips to Poundland, I'm going to have to try and limit what I buy there, because when I go in, I do buy a load of nonsense. And the low power thing came up on my phone there. So yeah, that's my essentials list, my approved list, and my what will I try and limit list. So I will keep this now, and I will write from January. I'm not going to start my budget until February, but I've got a separate book for that. I'm going to write in here from January. I'll keep note of items from skincare, makeup that I have used, added or given. I will also kind of try to maintain a list of anything that I've decluttered. So decluttered the kitchen, and I just took photos of everything to add in at the end. I'm doing that like I'm writing it here. You can also write in here anything that's helped you save money, or any money saving tips, or anything that you want to share. So I'm waffling on, but I will put the rules in the description bar below, and you can do this in any way, shape or form you want. So I don't want to do a no buy, so it's not a no buy, low buy, because I cannot stick to them, right? You know, I might be in town shopping and I'll see a nice blouse for work and I'll pick it up. You know, that's going to happen. Or I need to replace my t-shirts or a new pair of jeans. Life happens, things get in the way. You know, which is why I kind of thought I'm still going to keep a little bit of money should I want to go and meet a friend from work, you know, or go into work and buy my lunch one day, or maybe grab a coffee. So I'm not going to be as prescriptive as saying this is a ban. I'm going to try and limit it. But as I say, take away food shopping and the food for the animals and things, there was really struggled with my essentials list. So I'll put the rules in the description below. This is really a challenge for whatever you want. So your challenge can be, I want to declutter my house, right? I'm going to take a note of every item that I declutter. That's all I want to do. And I maybe want to save money by, you know, using up what I've already got. And I'm going to take a note of how much money I've saved. I want to set aside a budget and try and stick to it. So it's just about being accountable. So this is called my year of less, but you can do your year of less. So what I thought would help to keep us accountable would be to set up a group. So I thought about doing WhatsApp, however, that displays everybody's phone numbers, so you might not be comfortable with doing that. So I was chatting to Bryony earlier, from being Bryony, and she set me up a Telegram group. So the link is in the description below, and you can come along and we'll try and keep each other accountable throughout the weeks until we come to kind of upload. You can tell me what it is, what's your goal. I mean, you can even put your goal if you want to eat less, lose weight. I mean, I'm doing that with a friend at the moment. We pay money in, £3 for a loss, £4 if we stay the same, and £5 if we gain. So this year we used to do like, if you won it then you got that month, but what we've decided to do this year is actually just save it up until Christmas time, and we always meet up, and this year we used the money from kind of say October to pay for a Christmas lunch together. So that was quite good. But actually just having it as a wee rolling savings point is quite a good incentive. And also you don't want to pay any more than your £3. That £3, £4, £5 comes from my monthly budget. And I have actually, can hear Lola barking at something, I've set myself up a Monzo card, which I'll talk a little bit about maybe in another video, that I just put in my monthly budget, and that's all that's there. It's separate from all the stuff that pays my bills. So your monthly budget, take out, so when I'm talking about my monthly budget, I'm not talking about food, gas, electricity bills. I'm talking about anything that might be left that you might be able to set aside. So say you set aside £50 a month, and you want to save from that, so you might say, right, okay, I'll allow myself to spend £20 a month, whereas you might have usually spent the £50. So it's just trying to get into that habit of actually saying, look what I've saved, look what I didn't buy. And you can do that as well. I went on Sephora and I didn't buy this. You know, that's £80 that I might have spent. You can do this whatever way you want. There's no kind of, you don't even need to take a note. You can just write it down. You don't need to tell anybody. You don't need to talk about numbers. So I'm not going to share, I'll share what I've used, added, given, but I'm not going to share my total numbers of things. I'm not going to be counting all my bags. I've not got that many, like things like shoes and stuff. But when I declutter them or buy a new pair, I'll add them into the in and out totals. Likewise with my cleaning products, I haven't added them in, so I won't add them out. But if I'm buying them from Home Bargains, then I'll need to add them to the items that I've kind of brought into the house, if that makes any sense. So I want what's come in to be much less than what's gone out. So to really try and declutter that. So you want to look at your inventory and you almost want to be at the point where you think, oh, I need to go and buy shower gel because I don't have 10 bottles lying around or whatever. Whatever your obsession is, whatever you have too much of, you can categorise it. So, you know, I've got 5 jackets, 4 pairs of jeans, I currently only have one, 10 pairs of leggings or whatever. Anything that you kind of think, right, I'm not spending money on that. Where does my money go? So you keep yourself accountable whenever you spend anything that's not kind of food related or cleaning product related, or things like not going to Home Bargains just to buy stuff to do a video. You know, the silly kind of things you get into your mindset. So I will leave a link below explaining the rules and the link to the Telegram group, and I really do hope you'll join me. We can share our goals, our ambitions. If there's anything like a recipe that's cheap and cheerful, or if you make something and you want to show us how to make it. And what I'll do on the channel is I won't divulge any details from anybody in the channel, but if there's things that I can share, then we'll do that. So I hope you join me. I'm looking forward to this challenge that I'm going to keep trying to do until the end of the year. But yep, I hope you can join me. Let's make this successful, and actually just be a nice wee group to chat to each other in, to persuade each other not to buy things. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.